I want to start this module with a quote from the European Commission that reads, as you see here, work-life balance is no longer just a personal goal, it's also a political one. And this phrase clearly shows how in recent years, work-life balance has become a priority policy area for the European Union, and an issue that the European Union recognizes as of public interest and not only as a private matter. So why is this so? And most importantly, what does work-life balance have to do with gender? So basically, because in Europe, which is the context that concerns us, the problems of balancing responsibilities inside and outside the work sphere are not the same for both genders. There's a strong gender division of unpaid and paid work due to the fact that women, and during recent decades, mothers in particular, have increased their participation in the labor market in great amounts, but men have not increased their participation in unpaid household work to a matching degree. I'm sure this does not surprise any of you. So in other words, participation in paid work has increased without a corresponding change in time use patterns. This means that on a daily basis, women are implicitly expected to carry the so-called double burden.
Ich setze mir dann auch wieder draußen hin.
Oh, I think somebody is not muted. I hear some German speakers. This means that on a daily basis, women are increasingly expected to carry the double burden of balancing paid and unpaid activities, and this is usually known as the double shift. Let me share some statistics to illustrate this. Only 34% of men engages in cooking and household every day for 1 hour or more, in comparison to 79% of women. As a result, when both paid and unpaid labor are considered, women work on average 55 hours per week, compared to 49 hours worked by men. This is a fundamental source of gender inequalities. The disproportionate amount of time women spend on care and domestic chores impacts their participation not only in employment, but also has a negative effect in their opportunities for social, personal, and civic activities, and also matters of health, as we've saw in the word cloud that we put together before. The burden of care and housework strongly affects women's employment patterns. This is the primary reason for economic inactivity or part-time work, and for women's involvement in precarious work. This phenomenon is known as gender segregation in the labor market, and it has consequences for gender gaps in pay and pensions.